Good evening, everyone. I think what I would want to begin with is to say that in addition to a vocation, whatever it is, and in the church we kind of talk about three kinds of vocation: single life, married life, and religious life. And in religious life, I'm going to lump together priesthood, diaconate, and the consecrated life. All of us by baptism have some vocation, and it comes from God. But I want to really emphasize how much of a mystery it is. Not a misery, a mystery, a mystery. And a lot of times, our vocation unfolds in ways that really can surprise us and astound us. If you were at Mass today, or last night, then you heard me talk about how some moments in life at the time seem really insignificant, but later you look back and you think, wow, that was really a pivotal moment. That pivotal moment happened for me in 8th grade. 2 priests came to our class and invited all the 8th grade young men to a weekend at a seminary high school all the way up in Pittsburgh. And this was from Baltimore, where I grew up, all the way to Pittsburgh. And we went, I think every young man in the class went. We had a great weekend. At the end of the weekend, they sat us all down and said, would you like to come to school here next year? And I put my hand up like, absolutely. And the priest said, really? I was the only one. I'm like, I definitely, I'm there. And he pulled me aside and he's talking to me and he said, why do you want to come here? Do you know what kind of school this is? I said, I don't care. What kind is it? He said, well, it's a seminary high school. I said, great. What does that mean? He said, well, it's where you come to think about being a priest. I said, what? I don't want to be a priest. He said, why do you want to come to school here? I said, because it's 6 hours away from my parents. Really, I was brutally honest. I'm thinking I would have total freedom, independence, my own life, chart my own destiny. I signed up. I went home that Sunday night and I said to my mom and dad, by the way, I'm out of here at the end of the year. I'm going to Pittsburgh to high school. My mother said, and I still remember it, over my dead body. I said, whatever, that's what it takes, I'm going. And we had a knockdown, drag-out battle for weeks until she finally relented and let me go. I went in with no desire to be a priest at all. I just thought it would be kind of cool to be away from home, living away from home, having my own bathroom. It was heaven, because we had one bathroom for 6 people in our house. I walked in to my room, it had a bathroom. I'm like bowing down in worship. Thank you, God, I've got a bathroom of my own. I love it here. No desire to be a priest at all. But over the years there, a lot of the priests had a really strong influence on me. And I decided, you know what? I think I would like this. And what was it that kind of most attracted me? All of them, as different as they were, as human as they were, and they were very human, some of them. I had always seen priests as kind of like distant, up on a pedestal, almost godlike. You never talked to them. If they talked to you, it was because you were in trouble. I had nothing to do with them. But I began to see priests on a very human level. I went fishing with them, hunting with them, rowboating, sporting with them. Father Bernard taught me how to shave. Brother Sigmund, thank God, taught me how to use deodorant. I mean, they were very, very human people. And I began to think, you know what? I think I could like this. They had such a joyfulness about what they did. They loved it. And I thought, I could like this. So 3rd year of high school, I said, you know what? I want to join. But I do not want to be a priest. I want to be a brother. And the reason I wanted to be a brother was, one, I didn't think I was worthy of the priesthood. In fact, I knew I wasn't. I didn't think I could do it. I didn't think I had the skills for it. And I didn't think I would like it. So I declared myself to be a candidate for the brotherhood, and my life was kind of mapped out. I was going to be a Franciscan brother for the rest of my life. In my third year of college, I got called in, and the faculty had taken a vote, and they decided that I was no longer a candidate for the brotherhood, that now I was a candidate for the priesthood. And I said to the rector, "What?" He said, "We really think you should be a priest. We think God is calling you to be a priest." And I said, "Do I not have a choice in this? You acted like we had a choice in this. You gave us a choice to sign up brother, priest. I signed up brother. Why are you making me a priesthood candidate?" He said, "To be very honest, Jeffrey, all of us on the faculty, we think God's calling you to the priesthood, and we just think you're too damn stupid to know it." So now I was suddenly a candidate for the priesthood. Then I kind of figured, well, you know, there are different kinds of priests. There are diocesan priests and what we call religious priests. Diocesan priests serve a particular diocese. Like I'm a priest of the Diocese of Baltimore, which is an archdiocese. Religious priests serve their community. And there are lots of religious communities of priests and brothers and sisters. I kind of knew that I didn't want to be a community priest by the end of college. And I remember my spiritual director said to me, "Here's how you know. When you're a diocesan priest, your first commitment, your first love has to be your parish, or whatever work you're doing for the diocese. If you're a religious priest, your first love has to be the community. And your second love is whatever work you're doing for that community." And I kind of knew in my gut, I always knew I wanted to be a parish priest. I love parish work, and I knew that my first love would always be my parish. I remember what first attracted me to the priesthood, or the brotherhood, was that joyfulness that I saw in those priests and brothers. And I remember the day I was ordained, when Cardinal Keeler ordained me in 1990. We were laying on the floor, and everyone was singing the Litany of the Saints. And I remember praying a very specific prayer laying there. I remember praying, "God, I know this is for the rest of my life. Please, please make it happy for me. Please make me love it. Please make it joyful, because I know I can't leave, so make it joyful. And if you can't make it joyful, Lord, give me the strength to last 50, 60 years doing this, or at least let me die young." I remember laying on the floor thinking, I hope to God it's going to be a joyful life. I can tell you this, if it's what you're called to, you will find a joyfulness beyond what you could ever imagine. If you're called to married life, you will find, and I've seen it in married couples, a joyfulness in each other that just goes beyond words. You can't express it. I feel that in the priesthood. I love the priesthood. It gives me a joy and a meaning in life. And a lot of times, even in my own family, my brother, my sister, they'll often talk to me and they'll refer to, "Gosh, you make so many sacrifices. It's such a hard life for you. You never get much time to yourself. You never can come to family dinner on holidays. Or if you do, you sleep on the couch because you're exhausted. You don't really have a life. You make so many sacrifices." And I say to them, I can't begin to tell you how wonderful my life is. I love it. I can't explain it to you. Maybe looking from the outside in, it looks different. But I don't feel like I make many sacrifices at all. I love it. It's great. A lot of people ask, well, what about family, a wife, and kids? In our tradition, priests are celibate. So we don't have a wife, we don't have children. My mother, I always tease about this, but it's true. My mother always says to me, "Son, somewhere out there is a woman that you would have been married to. And right now, she is on her knees thanking God above that you're a priest and celibate."